Welcome to episode 146 of the XS Noize Podcast. I'm Mark Millar. Thanks for listening. In this episode, I speak to Alex Lowe from Hurricane No. 1 about their latest album, Backstage Waiting to Go On. If you missed the previous episode, I spoke to Stephen Wilson about his 7th album, The Harmony Codex. So check it out, and if you like the podcast, please subscribe on your favourite listening platform, give us a rating, and leave a comment. With 2 top 20 albums and 7 top 40 UK hit singles and over 1 million albums sold, Hurricane No. 1 are a force to be reckoned with. In this interview, frontman Alex Lowe discusses their new album, Backstage Waiting to Go On. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the XS Noize Podcast with Alex Lowe from Hurricane No. 1. So, hi Alex, welcome back to the XS Noize Podcast.
Thanks very much for having me, mate. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you first appeared on the 2nd episode way back in 2016, so it's great to have you back on.
Oh, thank you. It's brilliant to be here. Good stuff.
So before we talk about the new album, Backstage Waiting to Go On, I want to know, how's your health been?
Well, it's been okay. I mean, it's good. I'm surviving and stuff, but there's always a lot of bloody issues going on. I was supposed to get my kidney transplant on the 21st of June, but that same week, I had a hernia, which I really didn't know I had, and something went wrong, and I was in so much pain. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm dying here." So we had to phone an ambulance, and they took me straight to Edinburgh, where I was supposed to get the transplant that the next day. So when I got there, they just looked at me, took one look at me and says, "No, you're going straight into surgery." So they knew what it was. They took me for a scan and then took me straight into surgery. And I've never felt better. I've just had the staples out my belly, so it's been restricting, but steel staples they're dreadful. So I had them in for about 3 weeks. So I got them out a few days ago now. But I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a bit tired though. I don't know if that's with the kidney or something like that, but I'm feeling tired these days for some reason. I think it's my eyes that's tired, because my body doesn't feel tired. Just my eyes, But they got the operation done anyway. It was a success. And now I've got to wait for another date for my transplant. So fingers crossed it'll be in the next 4 to 5 weeks, because the good thing is I've got a live donor. I don't have to wait for a dead donor anymore, It's like I've got a friend that's came forward. He's willing to give me his kidney and stuff like that. So it's fantastic, it's great. So that's the good thing about it. Having a live donor, they have to give you another date, If it was a dead donor, they would have gave you that kidney away to someone else and you would have had to been put to the bottom of the list again. But my luck, I've got a live donor, so it's going to be okay.
And once you get the transplant, what will be the recovery time?
The recovery time is really quick, actually. It's about 4 weeks.
Right.
I couldn't believe it when they said, they said to me, "Look, when you get your kidney, it's not a cure, but you're going to be on tablets for the rest of your days. These immunosuppressant tablets to keep your immune system kind of down, so your kidney doesn't fail." They says, and I said, "Well, how long can I be on my feet?" 4 weeks. And I was like, "Really?" And they said to me, "Says it isn't a big operation, really, putting a kidney in. It's only about a 3-hour operation. It's not a big deal. It's just to see if the kidney is going to work as soon as they put it in. And they'll know within 3 hours if your kidney is going to work or not, But I've got a 97.5% chance it's going to work. So that's good odds for my case. So it's only about a 4-week recovery. I'll be back on the road. We're going to go back on the road in about maybe 7 weeks.
Yeah, so Hurricane No. 1 are back with a new album, Backstage Waiting to Go On. I've been listening to it. It's fantastic. The band have had various lineups over the years. So who's in the current lineup?
Yeah, but I feel like Marky Smith from The Fall now, because he had 47 lineups, And it's just, me and Chris have been together from the start. So it's the two of us from the start when we got back together in 2014, I think it was. So we're still together. And we've got a guy, Mark, who's on bass, and we've got an old friend of mine from when I was 15. We started a band together. It was the first band we ever started together. A guy called Ricky Rapovich, but we call him Rappa. And fantastic guitarist, great all-round, harmonies and stuff like that. but we've got him in the band as well. So it's good for someone that I've known all my life to be in Hurricane number one, because we've always had a great sense of humour, and he's just so much of a good laugh. But he's a great guitar player in the way of like writing solos and stuff and things like that, And also we write together as well now. We've been writing together for the next album that's coming out. So he was always my songwriting partner from the start when we were 15, 16, right up to we were 21, 22 years old, And I think Ricky's the only person I could ever write with. I couldn't actually write with any members, to be honest. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like I didn't want to write. It didn't really work, I don't think, But Ricky comes to me with songs. I'll go to him with songs. But if he writes one, it's Lowe and Rappa, and if I write one, it's Lowe and Rappa. So we just share the songwriting credits now between us. So it's good. It's pretty good, and it's good to have him in the band because of I've known him all my life, And Chris is Chris. He's one of my best mates. So brilliant, it's good. And Mark Millar, he's a great bassist as well. Very chilled out guy. And that's what we need. But as I said, I do feel like Marky Smith a little bit because of this lineups all the time. But I think this lineup will stick now. I think that's it. We're getting tired of it. I think if we have to do another lineup, I think we'll just say, no, that's it. We're done. We're finishing it. That's it. But people starting to know this lineup now, so perfect.
What is it that Mark E. Smith once said? He says, if it's me, your gran and your granda.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I said the other week on Facebook. If it's me and my grand on bongos, then it's Hurricane number one. That's it. But Marky Smith, I love Marky Smith. I met him a few times, and he was just a miserable git, but I loved him for it. I absolutely loved him for it. And I think he used to give me kind of sly smiles now and again to say, you know what it's about, mate, And I'm like a miserable old git now anyway. I'm 54 now, so yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange world we're living in just now, so I get miserable a lot now.
No, that definitely is. And the new album, you're on a new label, Golden Robot Records. You just signed was it last year?
That's right, Golden Robot in Australia. Well, it's worldwide, but we actually signed to the Australian label. And to be honest with you, we didn't really think this album was going to come out because we wrote it. Well, I wrote it. We recorded it and wrote it about 2 years ago now, nearly 2 years now, and nothing was happening. And it was like, this is just getting too slow. And then all of a sudden, Golden Robot said, right, we're releasing it. This is the day. We're going to do 3 singles first, get it out, And they're actually going to be doing a vinyl as well of the album. So they're going to do a limited edition. I think it's 3,000 copies, and we'll do a lot of signed copies as well for the fans. So yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to the vinyl. That's going to be brilliant.
So Backstage Waiting to go on. What's backstage like now at a Hurricane number one gig compared to what it was like back in the day?
You know what? I got a surprise. We played Oxford about 4 months ago, and we played the Jericho in Oxford. And I thought, this is going to be one of these gigs. Nobody's going to come. It's going to be 16 people, because we haven't played for ages, years, because of the COVID and stuff. And we got there, and the promoter came up to him, and he was jumping up and down. You've sold it out. All the tickets are gone. I was like, no way, sold it out. So yeah, the backstage then was a bit, it was a bit wiry and stuff. It was like a bit like back in the day. There was lots of girls backstage and lads backstage, and just a bit mental. It was, and I wasn't used to that again because I've quietened down a lot. I've grown up and stuff, and. But I think everybody thought, it's Alex Lowe. He's going to be going crazy for it tonight, And but it was just the same as I was stepping back in time, 1997. It was a bit crazy, and I thought, my God, it's still like this. So I don't know if it was just Oxford, the fans in Oxford, or what. But it was a fantastic night. It was one of the best gigs we ever played, And it was good to see old faces again. Nick Moorbath, our old piano player. And Stumpy, old drum tech, one of my best friends. So it was good to see everybody again. That came, that was fantastic.
What goes through your head backstage before you're about to go on? How do you feel? Do you get nervous, or you're relaxed, or what is it?
Yeah, I get nervous. Funny enough, though, the Oxford gig, I wasn't nervous at all. But I think it was because Mark, the bassist, is so chilled out. His vibe rubs off on you, And I said, it's funny, I don't feel nervous tonight for some reason. But other gigs, yeah. But you still get nervous because we don't want to make mistakes, and or you're thinking, have we rehearsed enough? Have we over rehearsed? Or how does that song go again? Run that back to me again. Sound check and stuff. So I think everybody gets nervous, but I think being nervous is good. It keeps you on your toes. I think if you're placing and too laid back, pat the mark, I think things can go wrong. But if you're on your toes, I think it can help a lot to get your mind working and stuff. After the second song, I think, you're interacting with the crowd and everything's cool. It's great. But yeah.
So you were saying you've been sitting on the album for 2 years. So when did the actual writing and recording start?
Well, the writing, I wrote some in dialysis. It's funny, a couple of the albums, like Find What You Love and Let It Kill You, one of our albums we did, I wrote that when I had cancer. And then this one, I wrote half the album when I was on dialysis, because you're sitting on dialysis for 4 hours with big needles in you. You have nothing to do, you're looking at 4 walls. So I says to the nurses, get me pen and paper. I'm going to start writing my album. And that's what I did. And then I wrote some when I got back off dialysis, the days off. I just write in the kitchen, and I wrote half of it in the kitchen as well at home. And then the recording started about 7 days after I wrote the album. We just booked the recording studio, and Golden Robot just stuck us in the studio, and we got it done. I mean, it took us to record it. It took us about 5 days to record the whole album, but it took Golden Robot about nearly 2 years to get going with it. And I don't know why that was, but I suppose they had their reasons. Because I'm very I need it done yesterday. I've no patience. And I like to have things done right away, and that's it. But they took their time about it. But it's done well. I mean, I'm really surprised it's done so well, because there's not much promo behind it. I don't think they did much promo. But it's done really good. I think we're up to maybe 21,000 downloads and streams altogether. So we've done really well. It's done perfect. I'm really happy with that,
Nice one. Yeah, and if it goes out in vinyl, happy days. Because people want the vinyl now. People want to be able to go back to the days of holding something tangible.
Absolutely. I love vinyl. I've got loads of vinyl now. I've just been ordering vinyl off Amazon and go to HMV and stuff and in Aberdeen and stuff, and I get loads of vinyl. I just bought Pet Sounds again for about the 5th time. So I did that.
Well, let's talk about some of the tracks. My favourite track on the album is TV Blues.
Oh, wow.
It's a rock blues number. And it says in the press release, it's the Stooges having a brawl with the Stones. And that's what it sounds like.
Great title. That's great. I love it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good song. It's TV Blues. When I wrote it, I wrote it. It's funny. It's one of them songs that when I write songs, I don't write stories. I just write nonsensical words, but they seem to come out. They make sense. But this one, I did sit down and write an actual story. And it's an actual story about a transvestite guy that plays blues in Liverpool. And it was titled Transvestite Blues, but the record label, being all woke, as they say nowadays, they told me to change it. And I was just like, I went mad. I was like, why would I change it? There's nothing, it's not going to offend anybody. There is a transvestite and he plays the blues. It's what's so offensive about that? But they made me change it to TV Blues. So I was gutted about that. I was really like, no, that's not the title, because it could be TV, watching TV, and you hate the TV.
Yeah.
But I always make sure that, like, doing stuff like this, that I tell the true story of the title. And it's nothing against transvestites or anything like that. It's about a guy that plays the blues. There's an actual character in Liverpool who plays the blues, and Chris knows him because he goes in when Chris goes to Liverpool, or he stays in Liverpool, he'll go and watch him play because he's a fantastic blues player. And that's all that title is about. But I wrote a song about this guy, and the record company wasn't for it. Oh no, we have to change that. That's not politically correct and all this. And you know me, Mark, I'm not politically correct.
No.
And no, not at all. No, I'll say what it is, and that's it. But so I was a bit gutted, but the whole band was gutted. They're the same as me now. I've got a whole bunch of guys around me that they're not politically correct at all. They wouldn't go out and offend people on purpose, but they say how it is, and they look at situations and go blah blah blah, and people don't like it. Oh, you can't say this, you can't that. Oh, you can't title that song like that. And so that's why I'd like to tell the story about that when I do these kind of things, interviews, It's actually called Transvestite Blues. That's the title of the song. They wouldn't let me do that, so it's TV Blues.
Has he heard the song?
I think he has. I think Chris has played it to him. Yeah, I think he loved it. I think the guy loved it. Yeah, absolutely amazing. He was just he was taken back because somebody wrote a song about him. He's like, what? You wrote Hurricane Number One's wrote a song about me, and Chris was listen to it. I think Chris let him hear it on his phone or something when he was watching him play it. He came off for a break and he says, "Hey, come here. I've got a song for you. Listen to this." And I think he did that. Well, that's what Chris was telling me, so it must be true. Yeah, and he loved it.
Open Up the Door. I love that. The California pop surf sound.
Yeah, great song. We needed I needed something like not acousticy, but a little bit down tempo, And I actually wrote that in dialysis. That was one I did right. I think that was the last one I actually wrote in dialysis when I was on dialysis getting treatment. That was the last song that I wrote on there, and then I wrote the rest there. But it's very California kind of pop. Yeah, absolutely. It's got a summery feeling to it. It's got a warm feeling to it, I think. Very warm feeling. So, so I'm really chuffed with that song. Really chuffed with that.
What song on the album means the most to you?
Oh, God, I can't remember the titles now. I think Everyone Laughs. Because when I wrote that song, I was listening to a lot of Kinks and Small Faces. And if you listen to the words and the way it's done and stuff, it's very cheeky, chappy, London type, Small Faces type kind of song. That's what I hear anyway. Very Kinks, very cheeky kind of, just the beat, the way it is, and the lyrics and stuff. So I think Everyone Laughs has got to be one of my favourites, top two anyway on that album. Great wee song. I love that song. Really cool.
Yeah, it's a great track. You're very prolific in your songwriting because you were doing a lot of solo stuff. You had another sort of country thing going on as well, didn't you, at one stage?
Yeah, I still do my Americana stuff. I love, I'm listening to, the next album, we'll go into that, but I've been listening to a lot of the Eagles, the Jayhawks, Wilco, just lots of Lynyrd Skynyrd, all these Southern American rock guys. I just love all that Americana stuff. I love all that. Townes Van Zandt, Emmylou Harris, all these people, Graham Parsons, the Flying Burritos, all that stuff. So I'm still doing that. We're halfway through doing our next album. We've recorded 5 songs, so we're halfway through it now. But that is going to be like the Beach Boys meets Flying Burrito Brothers. It's very laid back, and we just wanted to change it around a bit because Backstage Waiting to Go On is really it's quite a rocky album. A lot of tracks in there. But this one, we wanted to kind of rein it back a bit and just have a chill out album for people, So this one's going to be a chilled out album. There's some good tracks on there. We've got some really good ones. I think, wow, geez, that sounds like something from Pet Sounds or something. And then we've got something that sounds like Hotel California from the album, the Eagles and stuff like that. And then some from Flying Burrito Brothers with some electric banjo on there and stuff. But it's still got the catchy choruses that I love to try and write, The melodies in there still there, but it's just got this laid back kind of Americana country vibe, So I'm really looking forward to releasing that one. That's going to be fantastic.
Whatever happened to the Melodic Rainbows album? I can't find it anywhere.
It was only released in Japan. We never really took it any further. It just got released in Japan, but it did so well in Japan. I think it did top 40 in Japan. It sold about 7,000 albums there. But we never really done anything with the only place they could get it was Japan, and it cost a fortune for fans here to get it. I think they were looking at 30, 40 quid, and we thought that's insane. So what we're going to try and do, I think what we're going to do is at the start of 24, I think we're going to release it in the UK and stuff, get it released. But I don't know if you can get it on iTunes or anything like that. I'm not too sure. I can get it on Amazon. Maybe Japanese Amazon or something, but they did about 7,000 copies and sold them all, so CDs. So that was good, but we really wanted it done in the UK because a lot of people still ask us for it, So whatever happened to that album? I was like, well, it was only released in Japan, So if you can get a hold of a copy, it's worth getting. It really is worth getting because there's some good tracks on there, There's a lot of good tracks. That's a rocky album as well. That's a very rocky album. Yeah.
No, it's a great album. I think I still have my digital version that you sent me at the time. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why
brilliant.
that's why I ask, because I really, really enjoy it. But I would love it in CD or just have it handy on Spotify or, to pull up.
I know. It's a weird one. The record label just released it in Japan. It was just a small record label anyway. It wasn't a big label, I think it was called Rooster Records or something, some indie label. They were really good though. They got it out there and they got it in the shops. They got it everywhere in Japan, and we followed that with a tour, a Japanese tour, and we sold it out. I think we sold that out in like half an hour. So we were really chuffed that the album got out there, and then we did the tour. So yeah, we were really chuffed with that too. It was really good.
No, it needs to be heard. Definitely needs to be heard.
Yeah, definitely. We'll sort it out.
So, Alex, Hurricane #1, you've been around for a long time. What drives you to keep the band going and playing live and writing songs after all this time?
I know it sounds really morbid. It's my health. I don't want to die. I keep thinking to myself, I've got one more record than that. I've got one more album. I've got one more tour. I've got one more gig. And that's what keeps me going, And also these haters that you get, these trolls and stuff. I love pissing them off, I really love just saying, because we weren't going to make another album this year, but we had so many good reviews for this one, Backstage Waiting to Go On. We thought, right, let's make another one. And we just said, we'll just piss these people off so much that, they're going to hang themselves when they hear this one. They're going to be demented with us. And that's what I love, because we've still got people that, if I had two people out there that bought our records and there was only two people, I'd still make records for them. I'd make records for them two people, That's the way I do it, But the haters, I just love the haters so much. And haters for what? For making music? What, they're going to stop me from writing songs? They hate us that much that I'm going to read this and go, oh shit, maybe you're right. Maybe I should, I'm going to stop writing songs and making music because, yeah, you're right. You hate me, so I better not do it. It's never going to happen. In fact, that's going to put me more to write more songs and record more music, Because I think my back catalogue and the songs I've got written, I think I'm up to about 300 now, songs written. So I'll never be short of music or albums or singles. I'll never go there, So I think
is that unreleased songs?
Unreleased stuff, yeah. That's it. 300. Yeah, 300 it is now in the catalogue. So that's it. I've demoed hundreds of them and I've got them all there. So the boy says, look, we'll never be short of songs. So we'll just keep releasing, We'll just keep releasing and keep releasing and just put it out there, Well, the thing is, what was it? Going back to Marky Smith, my God, I think the guy did about 60 albums with The Fall, and he just kept going because he had these haters as well. And he goes, why would you listen to these people? Why would you do what they're saying just because they hate you? Because you do it for the people that love you or like you, You don't do anything like that. And I thought to myself, what a great way to see it, And that's the same as me, It's like, but to hate us, you get some cruel people out there. I got loads of messages, not loads of messages, maybe 6 or 7 messages from the so-called trolls, and they were saying, we hope you die next time on dialysis. We hope your kidney fails. We hope you die like in agony and stuff like that. And I'm like, how could it's like just because of music?
Not
just
true.
Because these people are insane. They're insane. But these are people that's in their mum's basements just trolling everybody, Just what do you call them? Keyboard warriors, Yeah. And every time I go on, what I do is I send them my address. And I'll say, right, I'll pay your flight. There's my address. Come and see me. If you think that bad of me, come and see me and we'll have a wee dance outside. Then you let dialysis put you off, guys, because, I'll come out of retirement, no problem at all, And
you did do a bit of boxing in your day, didn't you?
9 years, yeah. I was Scottish champion 3 different weights. I had 43 fights, 41 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. 24 knockouts. So
Wow.
So I get myself fit. Yeah, I come from a boxing family though. I've got cousins in Canada, Matthew Hilton, Davey Hilton. They were WBC, IBF, middleweight, super middleweight champions of the world. So, and their dad was the same. He was my uncle Davey Hilton. He had 77 fights and 74 wins and stuff like that. And he coached all these boys. All my cousins, 5 of them, were all professional boxers, and they all won world titles back in the 80s, So that's where I get it from, boxing. kind of thing. But nowadays, I just live a quiet life. I just want to get on with my life and get better and get healthy and write some more songs for the trolls and the haters. That's who I write these songs for now. Not the people, because I know that people that like us, they like us anyway. But all these songs are for the trolls and the haters now. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. If I wanted to make a playlist of the best Hurricane #1 songs, now you help me out here. What are the 5 songs I should have on there?
Right, 5 songs. Okay. The 2 that you mentioned for the new album, for sure. I think Step Into My World has to be there.
Yeah.
What's that? A couple of B-sides as well. I can't bloody remember the B-sides. But there's some great B-sides. Smoke Rings is a great track. I think that should be on there. And there's one more, I think. Yeah, 2, that's 4. Oh, God. That's a tough one. NYC on the second album. I think that's a great track. I was actually listening to that the other day and I thought, wow, is that really what we did back then? And it really blew me away. I was like, this is a great track. This track is really good. Or I'll tell you what, that's the B-side I'm trying to think. Touchdown. Touchdown is one of my favorite tracks of all of Hurricane stuff. So it's either Touchdown or NYC, along with the Step Into My World and the 2 tracks that you picked out in the new album.
So you've been around a long time. What's left on the musical bucket list for you?
I just want to keep playing, really. I've done everything that I could do, and I've had a great career, and we've never gave up. That's the thing. We've never gave up. We've thought we've gave up, and we've thought to it and like, nah. We kept, for 10 seconds. We thought, guys, is this going anywhere? And we thought, well, yeah, it is. If we've still got songs and we still can release stuff, because the thing is nowadays, the thing is with us, we're in a brilliant position. Hurricane #1 is probably in the best position they've ever been, because nowadays, if you notice, Mark, and you'll agree with this, if you aren't in the right crowd and stuff, you get cancelled. There's this cancel culture going on, so they cancel you. If they don't agree with what you say, they go to your boss and go, "I want him fired," and they'll go to record companies and go, "That band said this about this," yeah, and they'll cancel these bands. But with us, I'm the record label, I'm the distributor. I'm the boss of the thing, the whole thing. That's it. They can't cancel me. There's no way on earth these people can cancel, because I do everything myself now. I don't need a record label really to do what we need to do now. It's changed days. Mm-hmm. And that's the great thing about us. We're the boss of everything that we ever do. Me, Chris, Mark, and Ricky, we are the guys that is the boss. So none of these idiots can come up and go, "I don't like what you said. I'm going to go to your boss." Well, I'm the boss. What you got to say? Oh, you should go. Well, that's not going to happen. You're not going to cancel me. We're in a strange times. Really strange times. I can't get my head around half of what goes on. And I try not to get political, because I'm not a political person. I just use my common sense and look at something and go, they're insane. These people are nuts. And it's not like I'm political. I'm on the right or I'm on the left or I'm in the middle. I just use my common sense. Everybody thinks I'm a right-wing fanatic. And it's like, it's not true. I just use my common sense and look at something and go, no, hold on a minute. That can't be right. That can't be true, Everybody's allowed their opinion, But if you have an opinion that they think you're too far right, oh, you're a Nazi, you're a bigot and all that, these people are insane. Go and get a job, Go and do something, We're doing something. We're doing something artistic. We're making music for people that want to hear it, But these people don't want to do that. All they want to do is, create mayhem and get people on their knees begging for forgiveness. Oh, I'm sorry I said that. That's not going to happen with us. We don't say sorry. Oh yeah, of course we'll say we won't go out our way to say sorry for something we've said in the press. That's not going to happen. The same as Liam said that the other week. I don't know if you've seen that. But Liam was on about this new woke culture and this cancel culture. And he really did. And I was so chuffed. I was like, on yourself, and brilliant, Liam. Yeah. Because if I would have said all that, I would have been put in jail. But because it's Liam, he gets away with that, and I'm glad he gets away with that. But the stuff that he was saying about this woke, he says, "I try and effing cancel me." He says, "Try it, just try it." He says, "You'll see what will happen," So he was on our side. He thinks like us, But it's just a strange world. I just can't get my head around it. And that's why I just keep my head down and write my music, write for the band, get the band together, rehearse for studio, rehearse for gigs, and we're still here. We're not going to go anywhere unless I die, But even then, I says, look, guys, if I die, through some complication, all this health stuff, go and get another singer, get somebody that's going to sound like me, or you keep going, please, keep bloody going, So I don't think even if I died, I don't think that the band would stop, and I don't want them to stop. I want them to keep going, because the way I am just now, I could die now talking to you. The way my health is, I could drop dead now, like that.
Don't be putting that out into the universe.
No.
Positive thinking.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, no, we just want to like you said, what's for Hurricane number one? We just want to keep playing. We want to keep making music and be happy in it, and we still love what we do. That's the thing, There's a lot of bands that goes on and they're like, oh, I hate this. I'm just doing it because I think I need to do it. But no, we love doing this. And the members in the band, we have so much a good laugh and stuff. And we don't take anything serious anymore. I'm growing up. I'm 54 years old now. So, I've grown up. I can see what goes on in the world and stuff. And what you've got to do is just push that past and just keep moving forward, really, and just keep making music.
I like to ask my guests the following questions. If you could go back and relive one musical moment from your career, what would it be?
I think when we touched down in Japan, it was like Beatlemania. That was something else to see. That was phenomenal. I mean, 6 months before I touched down in Japan, I was picking raspberries for a living. That's what I was doing. I had no money. I had nothing. Stayed in a caravan, and I had nothing. 6 months later, I was signed to Creation, and we had our album out and stuff, and I was going to Japan, and there must have been 1,000 fans at the airport and stuff, and it just was from when we touched down, from when we left Japan, it was just mayhem. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been wanting all my life, Gigs were phenomenal and stuff. So I think it was the first ever Japan tour we did. And then I think, going on from that, I think it was going to LA after that. We did a few shows on the West Coast. And we thought, oh, it's not going to be as good as Japan. We sold all the gigs there out, they were all sold out. But then we found out we sold all the gigs out in LA as well. So that was great. And one of the highlights was meeting Debbie Harry. She came to the gig.
Wow.
There was lots of people that Clem Buck came to the gig, the drummer from Blondie. But so we met a lot of people we couldn't believe was at the gig. I can't remember who else was there. But it was just Weezer. A couple of guys from Weezer came to see us play. That was brilliant as well. I loved Weezer, so that was cool. But I think that was it. I think that the best highlight of my career was Japan. I think that was the first ever tour we did, because that was just nuts. I just couldn't get my head around it. It was just mental. It was so good.
For us music fans, music is the soundtrack to our memories. What song or album, when you listen to it, brings back the best memories for you?
Wow, that's a tough one. I think when I was in Hurricane at the start, 97, I think the album, I remember Andy Bell buying me the Faces box set. And that's when we were at my career was taking off. And I'd play that in the tour bus all the time. So I think it was this box set of the Faces, Rod Stewart and the Faces. Andy bought me for my birthday or something. And in fact, I've still got it somewhere. It's here somewhere. And I think that reminds me of how good it was that summer when we had our first single out and stuff, Step Into My World. And it charted, and we were on tour with Supergrass. And that album, every time I play that album, that reminds me of, I get taken back to that tour bus and doing all the tours and the single going on the charts and stuff like that. So I think it was the box set Andy bought me of the Faces.
Great band.
Great band. Fantastic. Well, Ian McLagan, he played on our second album. The piano player, Ian from the Small Faces, and then he joined the Faces. And he flew over from Texas in '98 to do all the keyboards on the second album. And we became good friends. Me and Matt became really good friends, stayed in touch. And God bless him, he's gone now. But he was gone the same year as I got cancer. He died of, I think it was a stroke or something. And I was told, I think it was Al McGee told me, and I was just absolutely gutted about that. We always kept in touch. Once a week, he'd phone me from Texas, and we'd have a blather on the phone. And then I went to see him in Glasgow playing with his band. and we had a great time there. So we always kept in touch. And when he died, I was so gutted, And I was just getting through my cancer at that point as well. Yeah, terrible. Life can be cruel.
What song or album is your guilty pleasure?
You're gonna laugh at this one. People's gonna laugh at this one. They're gonna be no. I know what you mean. My guilty pleasure, my song is "Mandy" by Barry Manilow, because in fact the Hurricane was going to do it as a single. Really, one of the best melodic songs I've ever heard in my life. The chorus, my God, it's like watching Barbara bloody Walters on the TV. You think you're going to cry or laugh or whatever. The chorus is phenomenal. The melody of the chorus is just, if you're a songwriter, you'll understand that, If you're a songwriter, you understand when you hear a melody, it can make you cry when you hear something. And that's what that song does to me, And I think that being an album, I think the album could be, oh God, I hate to say this, ABBA's first album.
Everybody says ABBA.
Yeah, I can't remember the title, but I have got it actually. And I got it when I was a kid. And I've still got it. Because I found it, it was actually my mum actually found it for me, or the vinyl, because she's moved house now. And she had it, and it was sitting right at the back of this vinyl. And it was ABBA's first album. And I remember getting it as a kid. I think I was like 8 or something. But some great tracks on there. Some great. The thing is, as well, it's the melodies I go for. It could be a stupid guy singing. There's a great melody in there. I'll go, oh my God. I'm all about melodies, I just love catchy choruses and melodies. I think there's a lot on that, a lot there on the new album. I think I've got a lot of choruses on there that people will always remember, I try and write that way.
Well, Barry Manilow and ABBA, nothing wrong with that. They're great. I love ABBA. Don't mind a bit of Barry.
Yeah. I mean, Mandy is one of the best. Yeah, I think Mandy, honestly, is. You'll have to listen to it now, Mark, when you get off this.
Oh, well, no, well, but I definitely will listen to it. And again, yes, I always go for melodies as well myself.
Yeah, melodies, man. Anything with a great melody, it's like, oh my goodness, listen to that, Fantastic. It really is.
So, Alex, is there anything else you would like to mention before we wrap up? Anything else coming up in the immediate future for the band?
Yeah, well, obviously I've got to get my transplant, but we're playing Oxford again, the Bullingdon. I don't know if that's an O2 now or not, but we're playing that on the 10th of November, and tickets are going really well, actually. I can't believe it. It's so far off, but there's been lots of tickets sold for that show. So we're back in Oxford on the 10th of November, and after that, we're talking to an agent just now in Los Angeles, and we're trying to do 4 shows in Los Angeles, either the end of November, start of December. So hopefully by then, obviously I'll have my transplant by then, and I'll be up and kicking, fingers crossed, So yeah, that's what's going to be happening. And our new album as well, the next album that's coming out. The title so far is called Underdog. So that's going to be our next album. I think it's our 7th album, maybe, or 6th. I think it's our 7th album that's going to be out in, I think it's November, December as well. So we've got a tour at LA. We've got an Oxford show coming up and a new album. Okay, buddy. You have a good night.
Take it easy. You too, mate.
Easy, bye. Bye.
Bye.